going to kick off. Thank you for those who shared what's been going really well for them. I always think it's a really valuable experience going to hear what's going well for people, because just like with your new recruits, and as Gina said, watching the excitement on people's faces and hearing that excitement when they're starting out, also sharing our successes with each other and our excitement with each other can help boost us up as well. We're not all perfect and we're not infallible. Some days we're going to have a bad day too. So, sharing our successes and sharing that support and encouragement is a really important thing. So thank you to those who shared with us tonight. So we're going to kickstart tonight with some home office updates. We have the ever wonderful, ever beautiful superwoman on the phone with us tonight, Miss Kylie Burnett, our Chief Operating Officer, and she's just wanting to run through and give us a few updates from home office. So let me go through, Kylie, and make sure we unmute you, because otherwise that's not going to work so well for us. Okay, so I've unmuted you at our end. So over to you, Miss Kylie.
I'm on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Naomi?
Yes, I can.
We can.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. How are you? I just thought I'd give you an update. We have not, I was hoping tonight to give you an update on shipping deadlines for Christmas with our courier, but they have promised me they thought they'd have them this week. They promised me they'll have them by the end of next week. So as soon as we get them, we will let everyone know. I guess the thing I would love to just communicate to you is that they are the dates that we'll be giving you, which will guarantee delivery by Christmas. So please just keep in mind, it means, yes, you will get your order by Christmas, but just really try and manage it, because it doesn't mean you'll get it the weekend before, or it just means, it's just that based on the delivery timeframes they give us, it'll be running very tight. So last year we had some people going, well, you told me I'd have it by Christmas, and I'm going on leave 10 days before Christmas. So that's not what it applies to. Christmas means December 24. So we'll have it, they're the guaranteed delivery times. And of course, the more notice we can give you, then the better you can plan with your markets and demos that you're doing. So we really, we are so ramped up for you guys. It's unbelievable what those guys are pumping out at the minute, about 4,000 jars a day. So it's pretty exciting, and we have just about no room to move. So there's a little bit of frustration happening there. But it's great to be able to talk to the guys and just say, you know what, this is our last time in this warehouse. We're relocating next year early. And they all get it, and they all want to be going a million miles an hour too, but we're kind of over the top of each other at the minute. So we're bursting at the seams, and we're ready for Christmas, which is just amazing. So we're really excited about that. We are still out of the baba ganoush because, and we don't tell everyone this, but we have had a major issue with getting the eggplant ingredient, but we hope to have it by the end of the month. So again, as soon as we do have that ingredient in, we'll have it made that day, and we can start shipping it out. It's just that we wanted to put it on stock sell to stop, a huge lot of back orders happening with products in the lead up to Christmas, because we absolutely want to eliminate that. What else? Good news is that we are speaking to another courier company, Direct Freight Express. So the major change there will be with Perth deliveries and WA, which will be just wonderful. But we are going to trial it elsewhere in Australia too. So they're giving us an assurance that we'll be extremely happy with their service. And you guys will be the ones who can provide us with feedback on whether we're happy or not. So I think we'll still keep all of the local deliveries with Fastway couriers. So that would be as far north as Gympie, Sunshine Coast, Toowoomba, Ipswich, Gold Coast, Tweed, and I think even as far as Ballina. So we'll still use Fastway, and probably even the central coast of New South Wales will still use Fastway. Everywhere else, as soon as this is set up, and I do need to just run everything by CVSL and get approval, but as soon as it's set up, we will start shipping with Direct Freight Express. So we do absolutely want your feedback, which is great. The other thing is Facebook, which is with all these Facebook groups that have been started, which is absolutely fantastic. But we just ask that you still please email Consultant Care if you have an issue, because tagging me on Facebook, I mean, and I'm not saying don't tag me on Facebook either, but it's too easy to miss things if someone just puts a comment on Facebook and says, what about this, or I have this issue. If you have an issue, please email us at Consultant Care, because particularly if it's relating to an order or a product, we need that in writing to Consultant Care, because we will get audited. So we absolutely need you please to, and just, you know, obviously this is to pass on to your teams too. Yep, comment on Facebook, but make sure you follow it up with an email to Consultant Care, and then we cannot miss it. So that would be great. I think that's all I have as an update. Does anyone have any questions?
Now's your opportunity, ladies. If you've got questions for
Can anyone hear
Kylie,
me?
raise your hand or type it in the box. Yes, we can definitely hear you, Kylie.
Okay. It was just a little pause there. I thought,
Here we go,
it's
question.
gone already.
Not getting manifest, is that the email issue? So the daily manifest, the shipping manifest. Would that
Oh,
be
yeah, so,
because I don't think it came out today, so is that from the email
correct.
issues that
Yeah,
you've got?
so
Yeah.
it was, just before I left tonight, I could see it was just still sitting in the outbox. So hopefully, hopefully that's the only one you're missing, because we've been sending them daily, and hopefully overnight it will go through.
Yeah. I mean, I know the issue for everyone else with the so Anne saying she hasn't received one since the 20th. Anne
Okay,
Walker.
I shall look into that. All right, thanks, Anne. I'll have a look at it.
Awesome. The confirmations from Fastway is a Fastway issue. It's not anything to do with Home Office. Fastway have an issue with their system at the moment where it's not sending out emails to say consignments are on their way, Jenny. So unfortunately, there's nothing we can do from a Yaya perspective except for the leaders to check those daily manifests that Kylie and the team send out and send through the details to your consultants.
We have let Fastway know, of course, and they're saying it's a system issue, and yet I'm hearing that some people are getting email notifications, so it seems to be inconsistent, unfortunately.
All right, so another question for you, Kylie. Pomegranate, tamarind and grapefruit balsamic, is that on stop order?
It's not on stop sell, so you can still order it. It's just that our supplier of that flavour has said it will be in by the end of this week. So I'm just thinking that I'm going to connect with Colleen overnight and say to her, if it's not in by the end of this week, do we stop sell it? Because I don't know, what, as a show of hands or a survey, would you prefer to have it on stop sell so people just can't order it, or are you happy for us to back order it and send it out when it comes in?
So everyone in favour of stop sell, just raise your hand for me now so we can take a quick survey.
Jen says stop sell.
So we've got about
My hand's
six.
up.
All right, so we've got, say, 7 or 8 who are saying yes, stop sell. The rest are not saying anything. Does that mean you're all happy to manage back order issues with your teams? Because honestly, if it goes beyond a week, you are going to be the ones managing your consultants when they comment and ask, where is it? You will need to manage those expectations, because if it doesn't arrive, there is no guarantee on when the product will arrive.
It sort of seems to be split in the comments, doesn't it, Naomi? Some want it stop sell and some want it on back order. Having played the back order game before, I prefer stop sell.
I'll see if I can connect with Colleen overnight. I guess the thing is that we just want to make it as easy as possible, and I know that there are different preferences. So
yeah,
I guess the other thing too is that a supplier particularly this one, can say to us, yeah, it's coming in, and on a good day that happens, and sometimes it just gets held up and there's not a thing I can do, despite the fact that I must be the worst person he can get a phone call from. I'm sure you know, I can ask him every different which way, and his hands are tied too. So that's just the issue we face, and you know, we've got a million other products to sell, but I will connect with Colleen and just see if she's happy to put it on stop sell. I think if that's the case and there's a few in favour of stop sell, let's do it.
I mean, personally, I would say stop sell, where there are a lot of flavours. And then when you guys aren't running behind in home office, you know, November's always a crazy busy month for everybody out in the field. And, you know, hopefully we're going to have another massive record-breaking month again for November. So do you want to be chasing back orders, or do we just want to get new orders in? There's a heap of other flavours they can pick. And, you know, if that's the one they really want, book yourself a party for November. Let's get it for you for free as your host credit.
Great wise words.
Done. And there is no problem with OMG. Sorry, someone's just asking.
That's right. We have had that fully tested. We've had everything in writing that we need from the supplier. We have increased the font on the labels for the new batches coming out to say shake well before using. So I don't know if everyone realises, but we use no emulsifiers whatsoever with any of our oils and vinegars. So there can and often will be separation. So it's just great to give it a shake before you pour it out. But everything that, well, actually, I'm sorry, there's one sample that we have left to be tested, but that is in a batch that's already gone and done and dusted. And we've had one person make a complaint about it. So that's the only one we're waiting on. Everything has been tested and we've got certification to say that it's all okay.
Fabulous. Thank you, Kylie.
Someone's mentioned an issue with herb and garlic dip mix, Kylie. Naomi is asking, is there something wrong with the herb and garlic dip mix?
Not that I know of. So if you could send us an email to Consultant Care with the batch number, then we can have a look at it. Do you know what the issue is?
There was something actually posted about it on Facebook. I did see someone said it tasted funny, but I can't even remember who it was, to be honest, Kylie. I did read it. Lisa Graham, Naomi just said, posted it on the Leaders Forum the other day or so.
Right.
I'm pretty sure Lisa was advised to fill in a product returns form and contact Home Office via email.
Perfect, because that is really important that we have a returns form and the batch number so we can check it out.
Beautiful.
Okay. All right, well, we'll move on if that's okay with everyone, unless anyone else has got anything pressing they need to bring up straight away. Thank you so much, Kylie, for joining us and passing on those updates. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, and just a couple of other updates from Home Office, or in relation to Home Office. I know Kylie touched on some of this, but just a reminder that there's no change to the existing process of notifying Home Office about issues for help desk, commissions, or any of those items that you would normally send to Consultant Care with the introduction of the Facebook group. As Kylie mentioned, they do need a written record. So help desk issues, there's no point putting it on the Facebook groups. They need to go back through to help desk as per standard. The same if you've got a delivery issue or a question on commissions, they still go through the standard process. The Facebook group is a sharing group, not to share all of your problems. I mean that in the nicest possible way. Also, whenever you do email Consultant Care or Help Desk, you do require, the following information is definitely required, which is the consultant name, their ID, the show number or order number, guess depending on if it's a consultant order, a retail order or a party show, a description of what the issue is, a screenshot of the error, especially if it's a help desk issue, And if it's a query on shipping, the shipping details need to be put in there as well. Make it concise. They don't need an entire story and your whole background. Dot points are best for Home Office because they get a lot of correspondence every day. So they don't need the whole story. Okay. So any questions on that side of it?
Not that I'm saying, Naomi.
Awesome. All right. We'll just power on then. So starting new consultants. Did you want to take this one, Annette?
I can do this one. Let me just bring it up so I can read it. I've got my glasses on now, which will make it easier.
Fabulous.
When it helps me able to read. When you start new consultants, now this is going to sound like we're repeating ourselves to a lot of you. I know a lot of you already do this and know this, but we just thought it was a good time to just have a bit of a refresher. When you're starting new consultants, there are a number of things that you as a qualified upline are responsible and need to be ensuring that you're doing. You need to be sending them a welcome letter as soon as possible after they join. You need to be arranging a weekly coaching call with them, particularly really early, so that you can find out, you can introduce yourself, make yourself accessible, you can find out what they want from the business, whether they're planning on just popping in an order every few months or whether they want to become the next director. If you know what they want from their business, then you're going to know how best to help them to get there. Rather than being frustrated and thinking, oh, what does this person want? The easiest way to find out is to pick up the phone and ring them and ask them. You need to send them information on the Inspired Start, perhaps not in the very first email, but get it out to them a couple of days later. It can be overwhelming for new consultants if they're sent all of this information and they just look and they think, oh my God, what am I going to do with this? This is all too hard. I'm running away now. I'm not interested. I actually start my own letters with you're about to get a whole lot of information. Don't freak out. You need to tell them how to get into back office and find all of the documents. I know it's really been handy with the new Facebook group for people to be able to jump on and say, where do I find this? And someone just sends them the information, and that's really lovely and friendly and caring and sharing. But ultimately, it's not going to help them if they need to find something in a hurry and there's no one lurking on that page that's got the information at their fingertips. They need to be able to go into back office and find what they need when they need it for themselves. You need to be showing them and telling them how to register for Inspiration Station, and I think Naomi's going to talk a little bit more about that later on tonight, so that for those of you that are unsure, you can help them with that and yourself. You need to be giving them the Facebook page setup instructions and protocols. Now, all of this information you can find in back office yourself. So if you're having trouble finding it in back office, maybe touch base with your upline or ask on the group and get someone to help you to find it. Please be telling them the webinar, when the webinars are on, recommending strongly that they're attending them. As you all know, it's the best way to learn and to get ahead and to do what they want to do. So send them the webinar schedule that is available in back office. It will be updated again in January. The current one runs until December. And tell them how to register for the webinars, where to do it, how to, if necessary, how to tell what time they're looking at it in. If your new consultants are having a launch party, coach them as you would with any of your other coaches. How about with any of your other hosts, in fact? So work with them. Work with them on inviting the guest list, on what they want to prepare, how they want to do it. Whether you're actually going to go and help them with a launch party or not, help them to set it up even from a distance. You can do that from the other side of the country or the other side of the world by just helping them, talking them through, stepping them through step by step. If they can get on the host coaching webinar and coach themselves as well, that's even better. Really important one, help them to put their first order in. Don't rely on other people to help your consultants put the first order in. It's really, really important that they get that help and that they're comfortable. And this goes back to the original phone calls and welcome letters, that they're comfortable to call you and say, "Hey Naomi, I've got my first party here and I don't know how to start putting it in." Now, yes, they've got all the information in back office, but sometimes people just need that little bit of a talk through step by step to help them out. I see it's happening a lot on the Facebook groups, and while that is really, really fabulous, the concern is that there's a lot of new consultants helping other new consultants put their orders through, and there's a really big potential for mistakes, and that's just going to make Kylie and Terry and the rest of Home Office's lives so much more difficult if these orders are going through with big errors and are being followed up with emails because they need to be fixed. You can help your new consultants to avoid that by making the phone call, offering to be there, offering to help them and stepping them through. You also need to let them know what the protocols are in regards to questions and issues with their orders, their commissions, any system issues that they might have, and any delivery problems. So, you know, that if they're having a problem, they're to go to you and you're to contact consultant care on their behalf. Or, as Naomi said before, make your screen dumps and send it into help desk. Naomi, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think you've covered it off really well.
No one's there, everybody.
all I would probably add with helping with the first order, one of the first things I do is say, okay, what I want you to do is go into company documents, into the system user guides, and I want you to print them out and put them in a folder. When we go through your order, we're going to step through the processes. So that way they can write notes on it if there's anything that they're a bit curious about, or they have a little bit of a trouble with the first order, they can jot notes on the piece of paper. And I find that way it's helpful for them to, when they go to the next order, they can get their folder out, they'll see the notes. Don't forget to put your host booking bonus through now, or don't forget to do this now. And it will help them that way. So that would be all I would add.
Absolutely. As far as asking, is there a way of searching in back office? Not really, but the majority of documents are fairly logically sorted in there. There may be one or two that are a little bit not necessarily where you think they should be, but when you look, you think, oh, okay, that's why that's there. So it's just following your nose. Familiarise yourself with it before you're trying to help someone else through. Familiarise yourself with it. Go into every section in the company documents and see where everything is, and that way it's going to be easier. There is a lot in there, and yes, it may be useful, but it really is quite self-explanatory. Naomi?
Yes.
Being one of the whizzes on the system.
Oh, you know, sometimes it's just hard to. Sometimes you've got to think a little outside the box, but you know you can generally find it. And if you get really, really stuck and you've looked, check with your upline or check on the leaders Facebook group and just say, hey, look, having trouble finding this particular document in the back office. Can anyone guide me to what folder it's in? Yeah, those sort of questions on the leaders forum amongst the leaders are fine, because at the end we're just asking someone to guide us to where we find the information for ourselves. And Alison, no, unfortunately there's not any way you can see your downlines orders in your view. You see the totals, but you can't go in and look at their invoice details. Okay, were there any questions for Annette or myself on that section on starting new consultants? Can anyone still hear us? Oh yes, someone can hear us, yay. Okay.
can hear us.
Alrighty, well, we'll move along then. Oh, look, it's back to you again.
Oh, yay, lucky, lucky, lucky me.
Sorry, didn't realise that I'd done that to you, but off you go.
Yes, you did. Of course you did. Okay, Facebook protocol. This is obviously a different sort of Facebook protocol for setting up your pages. This is in regard to the new Facebook forums. As we should all know by now, they're there for us to share information, knowledge, recipes and friendships. They're not a platform for venting, for bad behaviour or for your general complaints to be aired. And look, all of this information tonight on Facebook protocol, we'd really appreciate it if you could share it with your teams and let them know, I guess, what the expectation is of them when they're interacting on the Facebook forums. That's going to keep it a really, really nice place, a fun place, somewhere that people want to go. Please make sure that all of your team members, new and old, are aware of the existing processes in place to deal with the issues that they may have. Going back to what Kylie was saying, going back to what Naomi was saying earlier. They should be connecting with you as their qualified upline or with their director before they get onto the forum and ask about any issues, for example, shipping, etc. That way it's going to avoid a lot of, I guess, the negativity being shared. Absolutely critical. Manners have to be used at all time. This is a workplace, and as such, bullying of any kind will not be tolerated. This was something that was raised to me the other day when I was doing a market with one of my new consultants who had seen just been looking around and wandering around, and she sort of said, you know what, she said, if anyone's nasty on these things, it is classified as workplace bullying, and that's such a big no-no, and you can get in real trouble for that. So that's always something to keep in mind. Just be polite. It's not hard. Sometimes it might be for people like me with a loud mouth, but, you know, bite your tongue and move on. If Colleen, Kylie, Steve or one of the directors answers a question or a concern, then please don't continue the debate. And if you see that any of your team members are doing that, just please tactfully advise them that it really isn't appropriate. If one of those people jumps in and says, this is the way it is, guys, that's the way it is, and there is no point carrying on about it because it's not going to change it. Now, probably also an excellent time to remind everyone about the basics of Facebook protocol and the importance of respecting everyone else and their work. No copy and paste means just that. The only way that we're allowed to use another person's recipes, etc., is by sharing and therefore crediting them back to the source. The same goes if you're retyping recipes from the company website. Pop in there that Naomi Ingram made that recipe, and then the credit goes back to her. By all means, put your photo on it. Say, this is what I cooked for dinner tonight. Doesn't that look fabulous? Thanks for the recipe. And look, guys, well, we're a very compassionate community, and that's one of the things that we all love so much about Yaya is the caring and the sharing. We do require that any requests for donations or other personal requests like a voting competition, isn't my kid the cutest kid on the planet and all that sort of thing. They need to be discussed with your consultant, with the consultant's upline director before they're posted on any of the Facebook groups. That's going to avoid anyone being upset, embarrassed or offended if they're asked to remove them. It's not the place to be doing it. You may find in your own groups, if you're happy for them to put it in your own, in your own team group, then by all means do so. But putting it on the main company Facebook pages really isn't appropriate. So yeah, look, the other thing that's not on this list, I guess, that is going back to before about seeing new consultants on there asking for help placing orders. One of the things that really grabbed me as someone who played in Party Plan before with other companies is that when you join your inspiration at home, you're not just signed up and forgotten about like you are with so many other companies. In the past, it's been our culture that when we sign on new consultants, we help them, we talk to them, we give them this information, and we keep working with them. When I see the new ones jumping onto Facebook and saying, how do I do that? That kind of concerns me, because that culture's not existing when they're doing that. It's kind of like, okay, I'm signing you up. This is where Facebook is. This is where you ask for any questions. See you later. Have a fun career with your inspiration. And that is a little bit of a concern for me, because if we go down that road, we're going to be no better than any other company out there. Let's keep that culture, that community, that friendship, that family feel that we all know and love, and that Colleen and Kylie and the rest of the team have worked so very, very hard to nurture and to bring to life. Let's keep it there by not signing them on and dumping them on Facebook and forgetting about it. Naomi, I'm talking to my computer again.
I know you're not.
I've lost it all together now. Has anyone got any? Oh, good.
All right, so Jenny's just asked who has admin privileges for the consultant forum. Sometimes, as we know, people won't delete their posts. So if you look on the members section of the group, you should see who the admins are. Generally, they're Colleen and Mandy. But if you go at the top of the groups, you'll see members. If you click on that, your admins will always come up at the top of the group. So if there is a particular comment that comes up and your consultant on principle has decided they will not remove it, definitely contact one of the admins and just let them know that you have spoken to the person, or contact your director, who may then need to interject with that particular consultant to have them remove it. Okay. At least that's one good thing we've got now with the groups as opposed to Skype, is you can see who admins are, which is great.
And we can just keep adding people.
Yay! So we did have a big target set by Colleen just while we're on the Facebook groups. So make sure we add all of our teams onto those Facebook groups. If they're in your friends list, just add them. If they're not, ask them to join in. I know Colleen was going to run a big promotion through the Facebook groups if we doubled our numbers. So we're still not there yet, so it'd be great if people actually just got on and got adding all the people they could to the forum, to the Facebook groups. Skype is still running, Saro, but it's not a forum we're currently using. We are making the move across to the Facebook groups because it's more accessible for many, many more people. Okay, anyone else had any questions on Facebook protocol? Or anything they feel should be added in that area?
Or agree or disagree, or anything at all that might concern you, or that you're rapt about with it?
They may be going on that if a director's said it, this is the way it is, they're just going to go with it now, Annette.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah, we need to pin Colleen's post about conduct to the top of the group. Absolutely, Jenny. I'm sure she'll get onto that as soon as she gets a chance. She's been absolutely flat out lately. Just for a change.
Yeah, just for a change. All right, well, we'll move along because I know just conscious of the time. So registering for the Inspiration Station, because people seem to have so many problems getting it done. And I did post this to the leaders group. Actually, I posted it to all of the Facebook groups. It was just a little one-page Word document I put together. I think it went over 2 pages, but are simple with screenshots to satisfy all the different personality types on how to register. So for those who haven't registered for the Inspiration Station, please do. It is a great source of information. You may find for some that it's a little more logical where you find the information than back office is. And you'll also find there are a whole heap of the webinars are actually uploaded to the Inspiration Station, which is particularly handy for anyone who has the Citrix issues. I know some computers just don't like playing the webinars off ShareFile. Casey actually uploads the webinars into a secure YouTube channel, so they can actually be watched pretty much by anybody. So it's great for that. So pretty much you go to your registration page if you have never registered before, or for your new consultants. Enter the password 123inspired, hit the submit button. Nice and simple. It will, you'll see at the top there's a little video that they can watch to actually learn how to do it. Funny thing is Casey can see who's watched it and hardly anyone does, but then people still have problems. So if they're struggling, get them to watch the little video tutorial. And when you get to this screen, it will actually give you this fabulous little information that tells you, please only use lowercase letters. Use only one word as your username. Most of the problems that have come through to myself or Casey with registration issues have been because people haven't read that. They've put capital letters in amongst it. So for mine it could be Naomi Ingram, and I've put a capital N and a capital I, and I've put a space in between it. The system doesn't recognize it. It'll end up putting everything together, all in lowercase letters, and when I try and log in, it's going to say my username doesn't exist because I'm putting it in with a capital N and a capital I, and I'm putting a space in there. So just get them to follow the on-screen prompts. It does have that big please take notice for a reason. And honestly, probably 80% of the problems that have come through with registrations have been for one of those two reasons. So it's a classic instance of people not actually reading the information, just going straight through it. You will come up with a little section like this to create an account. The username, email address, passwords, first and last name is vital for them. They can put their spaces and their capitals in that one. It's just so that we can recognize each other. So, we've got more than one Annette even on this phone call tonight. So if your username is Annette and then the next one is Annette1 and Annette2 and Annette3, how do we know who we're talking to? So we need first and last name on there and their consultant number. So once you've done that and there's a little fun thing at the bottom to verify you're a real person, and then just complete your sign up. And then you get a little notification that says, that it's complete. You will get an email with an activate via the email link. Check your spam or your junk folders because quite often they end up there. And that's also one thing that I get requests for. It said I would get an email to activate, but I haven't seen it. Have you checked your junk folder? And they go check. Oh, look, it's there. Fabulous. I'm so glad I could help. I'm happy to help people, but when it's simple things, if we just are reminding them when they're going through this process of a few simple things, it's going to make everyone's life easier. Because half the time before they contact me, they've called you 3 times about the same thing. Am I right? I'm pretty sure I am. I normally am. Just ask my children or my husband. Yes, fabulous. Glad someone agrees with me. Yeah, she knows what's good for her. No, just kidding. So if you're new to registering for the Inspiration Station, you'll use the same login for the calendar site. If you registered when it first came out, where there was the 2 links, you may have given yourself a separate password for the calendar. And I've seen that happen too. Because the two sites do actually run independently, when you go on to the event calendar, it will require you to log in again because it is a separate website. Casey has worked some magic to make them talk to each other so nicely so it feels like you're only still on the same site, but they are on two completely different websites. So you will just need to go in and enter those login details. At the top you may find it says you need to log in to view this. The login is actually a hyperlink, so if you click on the word login, it'll take you to a login screen if it doesn't happen automatically. Password resets can be done via the link on your login page. It'll have that forgot my password. For the calendar site, if you're unable to reset via that little link, you need to go to the troubleshooting forum on the main Inspiration Station page and request a reset there. So you will find in the main page, there'll be I think it's News, Teams, Forums. If you drop down that box, you'll see Troubleshooting Forum, or you'll see the Forums on Troubleshooting Forum. Go in and put it in there. Casey will need your user ID and a description of what the problem is. Okay, any questions on that? I'm not running through the whole how to do events tonight. We will run a separate webinar on how to add events and how to navigate your way around there. But for now, I think it's important just to get people on there. Start having a look around. There's some amazing resources on there. There is also a webinar calendar. You can open it up and it'll show the whole month and when the webinars are, which is really handy for your teams and for yourself when you're scheduling. And lots and lots and lots of information. You're welcome, Rhonda. But if any of you are really struggling to register, I'm happy for you to connect with me. So for those that didn't catch it, Naomi Ingram, I'm happy for you to connect with me and I will go through and help you get yourself connected so then you can help your teams. Okay, any other questions on just how to register? Taking it as a no.
They're very, very clever today.
Yeah, no, they're very, very quiet today too.
Or you frighten them.
Oh yeah, I have that habit of doing that to people, obviously. I'm scary.
Mm.
I'm sure anyone who knows me on this call is probably laughing at the thought that I'm scary, but hey. All right. So we wanted to leave you with a little quote there, which is if you want to go somewhere, it's best to find someone who's already been there. I'm funny. Thanks, Anne. If they have issues, Gina, is that in registering for the Inspiration Station website? Yes. If they have issues and you can't help them and they can't access it, they can contact me. It's only for the calendar because generally if they can get into the main site, they can get into the troubleshooting forum. If they can't get into the main Inspiration site at all, if you can get their details and give me a buzz, I can look it up and see if we can't figure out what's going on with them. And I'm happy to do that for any of you wonderful ladies. I don't think we've got any gentlemen on the call tonight, so I can say just wonderful ladies. So yeah, I'm happy to help, and Casey is other side of the world, so between us we kind of can hit that almost 24 hours a day of support. So always let me know if I can't help. I can always forward it on to Casey if people can't access the main Inspiration site.
Jenny, you don't need to type. You're unmuted.
I just didn't want to interrupt. Sorry.
I love your work.
Any more questions?
No, well, with that quote, we want you to be the someone who's already been there. So get to know your back office, get to know your Facebook protocols, get to know your inspiration station.
Get to know your team.
Get to know your team. Definitely. Be the someone who's already been there. Be that person for the new consultants that hopefully you all had when you started. We didn't all get to where we are by walking that path alone.
No, we didn't.
And we're a team, a leadership team. We're all here to support and encourage each other. So if you are struggling, ask for help. Oh, that's sweet, Rhonda. Rhonda wants to be just like you, Annette. Or just like one of us anyway.
She wants to be like you. I was going to tell you when to get the sparkly red slips.
They always help. Cloning would be useful, yes. Cloning would definitely be useful. But you know what, if we all do these things effectively, cloning, may not even be necessary. We spend more time, honestly, as a leader, you spend more time cleaning up and sorting out problems. Rather than sorting out the problems, be a solution. Have that solution already for them so that it doesn't become a problem. Because if people are informed and they have the information, you know what? They're going to be out there doing it, and they're not going to be jumping onto Facebook groups or to other consultants because they don't know what to do and getting all negative, because you've already provided that for them up front. If we can give our new consultants what they need to get them off to a great start, they're going to become great consultants. And you know what? When they start sponsoring people, they're going to do what you did with them. So that's how we create a culture. And we are the orchestrators of that culture. It's up to us to set that path.
Jenny, they will ask again if they don't like your answer. But again, it's that that united team thing. If we're all telling them the same answer because it's the correct answer, it doesn't matter how many times they ask, because they're going to be told the same thing. So that's where the duplicatable or replicatable or whatever word you want to use comes into it. If we are all saying the same thing and basically following the rules, the protocols, that which has been set, they can ask a million times, and a million times they're going to be told the same answer. It might be in different wording, but ultimately they're going to be told the same thing. And everybody's disappeared.
No, they haven't. You need more of you. Yes. I'm trying to get rid of more of me at the moment. I need less of me. Okay. So on that note, unless there's anything else that anyone would like to bring up or query, if you've got a question, it's a safe place here for you to ask. If there's no more questions, we will let you all go. Thank you so much for investing in your business and coming along with us tonight. And for taking on board, I guess, what we had to share with you tonight.
Yes, thanks everyone.
All right. Thanks, Annette. And thanks, Kylie. And for everyone again who shared.
Oh,
so
that was a lot of lovey-dovey. Thank you.
Yeah. throwing roses, stuff like that. But on that
Not
note,
the time I left.
have a fabulous week. Rock the end of the month. Let's hit some records and let's go all out to make everyone at home office need to wear roller skates for November because they're going to have so much work to do. And Rhonda's sending you hugs and that, so I'm going to go on that note. Have a fabulous one.
I'm out of here now. I'm packing my toys. I'm going home.
Bye, everyone. Bye.